What's up, everybody? It's your boy, The Legend, coming at you from Broadway at the Beach here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And we're going to show you the rides at Broadway at the Beach, which is known as the Pavilion Park. The Pavilion Park is broken up into 3 different sections. Here you can see on this map here, you've got the east side, the central, and the west. We're going to start out here in the central, which I think is probably home to the best collection of rides. And what you notice right away is something they are currently working on, as you can see some guy doing some maintenance on it, is this super slide. And most of these have 3 humps. This looks like it has 6 or 7, and it's probably close to, what do you think, 80, 100 feet tall? Yeah. It's got a crazy looking LED package. It's closed right now. They're working on it, and it's been raining a little bit. So hopefully that'll be open later. Definitely want to check that out, because that looks like a ton of fun. You've got a swings ride over here, which is always a good time. And the thing with the Pavilion was an old park here in Myrtle Beach that shut down, I believe, in the early to mid 2000s. I actually went to it when I was here a long time ago. And so they brought over, I believe some of the rides here came from that park. Not here in the central, but in different areas. You got the swings going behind me. And it's kind of fun to have a park with, well, it's kind of like it was essentially downtown Disney with a whole bunch of rides. It's not nearly as fancy. You got one of these Himalaya-style rides, and then you got what to me is one of the scariest rides out there, and they call it Speed XXL. I'm going to show you it in a moment. Here's some footage of this one going here. These rides are always fun, a little sickening, but they're fun. Alright, so they're getting ready to send the ride. And what's the scariest part about this ride to me is that as you're loading down here, somebody else is just sitting up there, 100 feet in the air with no idea when the ride is going to start. They're just looking out at the world, and you do get a really cool view, but it's terrifying because you have no idea when you're going. And here you go, and it's a ride that doesn't look that crazy, especially it starts off kind of slow, but you have to think that you're on the end of that arm, so when this thing starts moving, and it does move, you really get going, and you're flipping upside down depending on weight and stuff like that, and you're swinging, and it's really pretty crazy. Like, they are all the way upside down, and it's completely bonkers. And it was kind of weird, like me and Molly rode earlier, and they were only letting, like right now there's only 4 people on the ride, so you're not riding with anybody, so you don't have anybody to talk to. Like, I could talk to Molly, but I couldn't see her, and then the ride goes forwards, and then it goes backwards, and this one's, it's one of the, to me, these are like some of the scariest rides out there, along with like the sky coasters and things like that, but it's a real white knuckler, and thumbs up though, it's a good time, gives you that rush. So this looks like a newer ride. I have no idea what it is. I haven't really seen one like this. It's a Compact Moonraker 20 by the SPF Visa Group, but it doesn't seem to be running today. Turn around here, you do have a giant inverted frisbee ride built by Technical Park, which is interesting because that's a ride manufacturer company that does not make a lot of rides in this country, but those are fun rides. Not one of the better pendulum style rides I've been on though, I will say that. And over here, which is a really fun ride, you've got the cliffhanger where you can sort of go in a flying position. All right, let's check out the next one. Oh, now we're on the east side of the Pavilion Park, and the highlight for me of this park is the rocket, and it's this crazy 180-foot tall, flipping, spinning, wacky-looking ride that I've never seen anywhere else. And it doesn't open until 4 o'clock, so we're going to go check this thing out a little bit later after dark. We'll be back, and we'll cut to that clip after this one. But we're going to show you around the rest of the east side. It includes a wonderful carousel. This is the adult carousel. There's a kids carousel in a different section, but this is a very pretty old carousel. I imagine this probably came from the Pavilion Park itself, because this does not look like a modern carousel at all. I like it. Molly, do you have a favorite animal yet? I'm kind of thinking, yeah, the ostrich is pretty cool. I like the jumping frogs wearing the bow ties. I think frogs with the bow ties might win. You got a pig, roosters. I think we're gonna go with the frogs with bow ties. But a great classic carousel type building. Now, my biggest disappointment here is that the park is home to a classic caterpillar type ride. And these are really, really rare. I can only think of like 2 in the entire country. I know there's one here. I think there's one at Canopy Lake. But the big thing is, it's a bummer, is they're not running the canopy part. So it's really not much different than like a Musical Express or a Himalaya or things like that. When it has the canopy, it's really a cool ride. You got a little kids boat ride, which is great for kids. Lots of movement over here. You got a swinging pirate ship and a surf's up ride. Swinging pirate ship looks cool because it is right towards the water's edge. And those are kind of cool, those rides. They're always kind of fun. You sit on the end, it kind of gives you the coaster balls kind of feeling. And they seem to be enjoying that. We actually just got off of that ride. That ride's actually really fun. Pirate ship going overhead. Over here, as you're on the bridge towards Margaritaville, you've got a couple more kids rides. That's actually a relatively modern kids ride. You see a lot of parks adding something like that. A lot of different themes. Some parks theme it to bumblebees. The Cedar Fair chains themes everything to peanuts. But you do see a lot of people adding that one. We got a couple more rides over here. You can tell the pirate there. Definitely the knockoff Pirates of the Caribbean logo up top. And I do want to get a shot over here of the rocket. They've got this great topper on it. Really neat. Moving along over here, and just Broadway at the Beach, it's a really neat place. It's essentially like, I was kind of telling Molly, it's like a blue-collar Disney Springs. You've got like Margaritaville over there with a giant ship. Another different kind of steamship kind of thing with a dinosaur exhibit in it. We went to the aquarium earlier. That was a good time. But we're going to continue with the rides because up here, we got us a couple more on this side. Wrapping up the east side, you have a couple of classic Hampton-style kids attractions. You've got little doom buggy type cars. You've got little motorcycles. You've got teacups down at the end there. And then for the adults, you've got bumper cars. I mean, everybody likes bumper cars, right? They're bumper cars. It's definitely a small kind of atmosphere for bumper cars. But bumper cars are fun. And I'm sure these bumper cars are fun. I like the lights. Probably looks really good at nighttime. Over here on the west side, it's home to a giant Ferris wheel. I mean, this Ferris wheel probably looks like it's good 100, 150 feet in the air. We'll say one bummer, the Ferris wheel is not included with your wristband. So if you buy the wristband, the Ferris wheel is a $5 upcharge. I do want to see the Ferris wheel at night though, because it looks like it's got some really great LED packages on it. I bet that's going to be really neat. The west side of the Pavilion Park here is kind of the kiddies side of the park. So you've got a lot of like very much kid-friendly rides, like the teacups. Over here, you've got a mini Himalaya kind of ride. But it doesn't mean they've got necessarily all bad rides. Some of them are actually kind of neat. Moving along, we've got, of course, a carousel. You got to assume that a place like this would have to have a carousel. And this one has a carousel. They do have a giraffe on the Ferris wheel, which is, I think, kind of neat because it's mostly horses. But they do have one giraffe, and then they got a bench, too. And I think they have is that a cat with a fish in its mouth? Yeah, it's a cat with a fish in its mouth. Over here you got some interesting rides. You got the Seaside Swing, which is one of those kids swing rides, which is a lot of fun for kids. Now I think this might have been Molly's favorite ride over here.
It's adorable.
It's the Zamperla Magic Swing style ride where the kids get to pedal and they've got the hang glider kind of thing that makes them go up and down. And it's done up like a old-timey fair, circus kind of thing. It does go up and down. There's only one child on it, and she is not currently going up and down. But it's kind of a neat ride. And now the big reason coaster fans would come over here is the Myrtle Turtle, which is one of those SBF Visa spinning family roller coasters. If you do want to come here and just get the coaster credit, I believe it is about $4 to ride the Myrtle Turtle. Adults can ride, you could get your coaster credit, and it's important to me because it was number 500. Continuing with my trend of riding kids coasters for milestones, I rode the Pacific Fruit Express for number 400, and now it was the Myrtle Turtle as the mighty number 500. But yeah, those are actually pretty fun rides. They look like they're kids rides, but they actually pack kind of a punch. Over here you got another kids ride. I like this because it's got like a King Kong guy on top. But again, that's the Myrtle Turtle. Obviously if you're a coaster fan, you're a credit horror kind of person, come here, you can ride that. They're fun rides anyway. It doesn't feel as dirty as riding some of the kiddie roller coasters. You've got a standard frog hopper, complete with the classic awkward frog hopper topper. And then along with that, you've got a kid-friendly train ride, which I think is cool. I think the kids really like the train rides. I wish this one was probably a little bit longer. Also, there's a giant rooster for no reason. But the kids' train ride goes over there and then comes over here. And that's pretty much it over here on the kids' side. You can see the magic bikes are now up in the air. And that's pretty much it. You've got a little kids' whip, as well as a balloon Ferris wheel type ride. Again, a kid-friendly Ferris wheel if they're afraid of heights. And then the kids' whip. So that's what's going on here in the Pavilion Park on the west side. So I did want to show off the LED package on the Ferris wheel. I think it's a new ride, so they're still working on it. It doesn't look quite right. Like there's sections that are definitely not in the pattern, so it definitely needs more programming. As a speedboat slides on by, but that's what it looks like. So we just got off the giant slide here at Broadway at the Beach, and it was so much fun. First of all, it might be the tallest non-water slide that I've ever been on. And like, it's interesting because like the kids coming down now are going really slow, but man, I was flying down the thing. I flew right onto the mats at the end, so they're making this look completely unfun. Where I had a blast. Molly, you were moving pretty good.
I was moving pretty good.
Also, like, the LED package on this thing is nuts, and they've got different patterns and things like that, so it might be racing one more. One thing both we don't really care for is like the screen up at the top is just like a multicolored jumble. But the rest of it is like mesmerizing. And really, really fun. But also a very, very long walk up, so I probably won't be doing it again. Guys, gonna wrap things up. It's nighttime, and we're gonna come at you from the Rocket, which is a ride unlike anything I've ever been on or seen anywhere. It's sort of like if somebody took the Golden Zephyr at Disney's California Adventure and really likes hanging upside down. Alright, so they take the Golden Zephyr California Adventure, then they breed that with a Starflyer.
Right there she is.
And then complete it with a fetish for going upside down for no reason. And you get the Rocket here at the Pavilion Park. It's interesting because it's unlike any ride I've ever seen before. I feel like it would make sense in like a big European fair. Because I could not tell you this ride manufacturer. I could not tell you any other park that has one of these. So when I saw it, I was like, oh man, you know, I gotta do that. That's very weird, that's very different. And even though I didn't quite enjoy it, I'm not a big fan of just being held upside down. Like I'm okay, like if I'm on a roller coaster or something and it's forceful. But if you're just going upside down for no reason, like you do here on the Rocket, I can't say I am the biggest fan of that. Very tall, you do get some cool views. There were some fireworks going off as we were on the thing. And unique ride vehicles. But it is just very different. Not necessarily a good ride.
I enjoy how it's coming down here. You're like, oh, the ride's ending. Nope.
Like, no, it's not ending.
You go straight back up.
And then you're probably going to turn up. Like, it probably flipped upside down a good 20 times. And see, you're probably dizzy watching it. But that is the Rocket, and that'll do it for our video here at the Pavilion Park here at Broadway at the Beach. To me, it was kind of okay. Like, it's important for me because I rode my 500 roller coaster here. I think it's definitely better if you have kids, because there are a lot of kids rides.
It's a lot better for kids.
Yeah, a lot better for kids. They do have some cool stuff. I mean, the Rocket is one of a kind. I think my favorite thing in the entire park is the Super Slide. That was so much fun, and I love the lighting package on it. They've got the other thing, the spinning arm ride was actually really cool too. But if I came back, I probably would not get a wristband. But I will say, like, there are a lot of people on these rides, so I would not be surprised in the next couple of years if one of these Pavilion Parks here ended up with a major roller coaster. You know, maybe like a Gershlower Eurofighter, or something like Mind Blower at Fun Spot was only $6 million. They could easily afford that, and they would sell a ton of tickets for that here. So I could definitely see something like that coming. Molly, what were your thoughts? I dragged you onto a lot of rides you had no interest in going on.
No, too many spinny rides.
Yeah.
Not a fan of spinny rides. But I think
Even the roller coaster's fun.
I agree with you. It's good for kids. I wouldn't say small kids, but kids.
Yeah. Like your 7 to 12 will probably have a good time. Anyway, that'll do it. If you have any questions or comments about the Pavilion Park and the rides here at Broadway at the Beach, let me know in the comment section below and I'll get back to you. Aside from that, we're going to go back to drinking.